Hello everyone. This week we are reading Teaching the Standards: How to Blend Common Core State Standards into Secondary Instruction by Harriet D. Porton. If you're taking a look at the screen, the quote comes directly from the book on page 32. If learning is change, then students need to learn how to learn, unlearn, and relearn as a life skill. This is a quote that really resonated with me this week in the reading. The couple of chapters that we read deal with understanding the Common Core state standards and how they affect teaching and learning, understanding how learning happens, and then understanding how we know what we know. And I really related to the section where the author talks about matching learning theory to the Common Core state standards, and in which she talks about three sections or three groupings where students need to be able to think creatively, work creatively with others, and be able to implement change. This really resonated with me, as I believe there is no one way or one singular way to do things. You haven't fully learned a skill until you've mastered it multiple ways, as the book says. And that's really key here for young children to understand that you can fail and try again. You can make mistakes, but there's always an opportunity to do better next time. And that's something that I really want to make sure that I drive home in my classroom. I also noted the chapter on different styles of attachments, and this was an eye-opening moment for me, and understanding that children, adults, that humans, we are the sum of our experiences. And when our experiences are not in line with the normal growth curve, that's when we start to see deviations, where the author talks about the 4 styles of attachment: secure attachment, avoidant attachment, resistant attachment, and disorganized attachment. And this is really important as an educator to learn, to understand, and to know, because children don't necessarily act the way they act because they hate you, or because they're pissed off at you, or because they don't like you as a teacher. Children, even adults, really act in a way that they've been taught to respond. So if a child is taught that yelling is the way to respond to somebody when somebody's upset or frustrated, then that is how they're going to respond to you when they get upset or frustrated. And it's important for us as teachers to take a step back and really understand that child's background, really understand where they came from, who they are, what hardships they've suffered or endured, to get to the place that they're at in their life where their response to frustration is anger and yelling. Now, we also understand a healthy or normal person's brain doesn't necessarily function the same as somebody who's been deprived of that attachment, or deprived of food, or deprived of a shelter, or love, of emotion, of physical touch, all these things that go into teaching, and not just understanding how to write a lesson plan, not just understanding that Edgar Allan Poe wrote blah blah blah. That's not what teaching is all about. That's some of it, but that's certainly not all of it. And in order to be a good educator, you've got to understand that, and you've got to make connections in real life relationships with your students and with your peers, with your potential history colleague, so that you can really help others and let others help you as well.